Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David. All right, so today's topic is going to be on basically this quarantine stuff. All right, title being, after a state of emergency, Cuomo hints at mass quarantines for New York. Okay, now you gotta understand that these are all steps that these elites are taking to eventually bring about martial law, okay, and then to chip the people. Everything that's going on right now, this whole coronavirus and everything, is ultimately to bring out the RFID microchip. Okay, now here it says, this is by the way, this is New York. Okay, New York is known as the city that never sleeps. Okay, and I always say that New York is literally the heart of America. Okay, New York is always the state that's always pumping, right? Because if the heart stops, what happens? You die, right? You can't pump blood to the brain. Okay, so you're gonna die. And really, not just the brain, but you just can't pump blood. Period. Okay, and Washington is the brain of America. Okay, they have all these legislations and all that, but New York is the heart of America. Now, if the heart stops, what happens? The whole body's gonna collapse. Okay, so I see this whole thing happening. They're talking about a state of emergency and then eventually quarantines. If that happens, that's gonna interrupt the flow of traffic. Okay, in terms of the market. Okay, the stock market and just the economy in general. Okay, and I feel they're gonna through the spirit they're gonna do this. Okay, declare basically have a declaration of quarantines. Okay, and that's literally gonna change the whole course of so-called regular life. Okay, America, New York is a fast-paced environment. Everybody moves, walk fast, blah blah blah. Once this happens, everything's going to slow down. And once things slow down, it's slow for everything. Okay, so let's get into this article. And then I get a few precepts, then we close it out. All right, it says New York Governor Andrew Cuomo declared a state of emergency on Saturday on fears COVID-19, which stands for coronavirus. I'm guessing coronavirus disease 19. I don't know where the 19 comes from, but I'm guessing because it started in 2019, whatever. We know that's coronavirus. Okay, it says COVID-19 cases are set to increase in the coming days. Okay, the emergency declaration gives Cuomo the ability to bolster the medical response to combat the virus outbreak, primarily centered in Westchester County, a region outside of New York City. Now, let's stop right there. There's a lot of people, especially Amalek, that lives around Westchester County, okay, and they all work in downtown, Wall Street, midtown, downtown. Like, they all work there. And what they do, they don't drive there. They take the trains. They take what's that train called? The Metro North. Okay, you always see mad people on the Metro North, man. Okay, so people be taking public transportations from Westchester County all the way down to New York City. All right, so it's gonna be easy for them to spread that stuff. Okay, it says in New York City, as of Sunday, New York State has 105 confirmed cases. Okay, now this is what they're saying: 105 confirmed cases. You gotta understand, these numbers are being manipulated. Okay, just like all the other numbers that Esau likes to throw out. Okay, these are all being manipulated because here it is. I say 2 weeks ago there were over 80-something people just in Long Island alone. Okay, who are being self-quarantined. So if you're telling me right now, 2 weeks ago, and you see how rapid this disease or this virus is taking over, you're going to tell me that after 2 weeks later you have only 105 confirmed cases? That doesn't even add up. Okay, but we don't believe the numbers they throw out. We just use it as a measuring, as a measurement for what's to come next. but we don't really put our time and money in this type of shit. Like, yo, you did say 105 confirmed. That's for the sheeple. That's for them to believe. We don't believe that dumb shit. All right, continue. It says Cuomo made an appearance on Sunday morning futures on Fox News, where he hopes that NYC will avoid massive quarantines used in China and Italy. Okay, now they're mentioning quarantines. Okay, now they keep saying, oh, you know, we're going to put you on a 14-day quarantine or 21-day quarantine. That makes no sense, because the word quarantine, you look it up, okay, which I can do right now, goes back to the word 40. You're supposed to be in isolation for 40 days. Okay, that's where quarantine comes from. It goes back to the word quaranta, okay, which means 40. Okay, now you look up the word quarantine. It says a period a ship suspected of carrying disease is kept in isolation. Okay, now that right there was the first few instances. It was on ships. Okay, the cruise ships and shit. They had them quarantined for mad long, and then they finally took them off. And then some people who had the disease or the virus fled. All types of shit. They got to spread the whole shit. Whole bunch of bullshit. Okay, but it says from Italian quarantina. Okay, giorni, literally space of 40 days. Okay, from quaranta, like I said earlier, 40. Okay, so there you go. So you're supposed to be kept in isolation for 40 days if you're being quarantined. Okay, another understanding of the word quarantine. It was a period of 40 days in which a widow has the right to remain in her dead husband's house. Okay, so boom, there you go. Also, quarantine could be how many times. So the Lord really quarantined the nation of Israel for 40 years in the wilderness. Okay, during the time of the Exodus. Okay, Yahushua quarantined himself for 40 days in the wilderness fasting. Okay, so boom, desert. Yahushua was in a desert in which Christ fasted for 40 days. Boom, so there you go. All right, so quarantine just means 40 days of isolation. All right, that's the technical term for it. Okay, so it says Cuomo says, he said, and I quote, "If we need to close schools, we will close schools." That right there, I love hearing shit like that. You know, being a student in New York State, it's annoying, man. It's stressful. They don't teach shit. All right, we learn so much more watching brothers' videos and studying scriptures and all that than being in school wasting our time, man. You know, my head be so bust. I'd be like, yo, I can't do this shit no more, bro. Like, fuck this. Like, this ain't gonna bring me salvation. You know, but you just gotta be wise and handle business. But basically, he's saying what? If we need to close schools, we will close schools. That's music to my ears. Keep doing that. All right. It says already several prep schools in New York City have shuttered over fears of the virus. Schools are among the various venues which like cruise ships concentrate a large number of people in a small space, and in light of the unprecedented contagion of the coronavirus, any possibility of social spreading has to be minimized. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Okay, the reason why they do this is to keep the people as calm as possible, especially in New York, where it's mad people and it's super congested. It's like, it's so tight. You know, they have to find ways to keep the people relaxed, because if people start to get crazy, it's clipped. It's over. Okay. Oh shit, here it says New York government Andrew Cuomo just told Fox News, quote unquote, worse than the virus right now is the fear pandemic, and the fear is more dangerous than the virus. Okay. So there you go. They're afraid that the people are gonna like really revolt and shit like that, which will happen eventually. Okay, because ain't nobody want to be quarantined with somebody who's sick, and when they're not sick, they're like, no, I'm not sick, I'm not staying here. Fuck that. And that's how they're gonna bring martial law. Okay. Cuomo said there is no reason at the moment to shut down mass transportation in the city. However, that clearly will change when the number of cases spike, and the fact that Cuomo is contemplating, it means that this will likely be the next escalation in the fight against the pandemic. We noted on Saturday, Amtrak shuttered several non-stop lines from Washington, D.C. to NYC, on declining demand for travel due to the virus outbreak. Okay, so this virus thing, man, is literally putting a halt to everything. You know what I'm saying? Just like we told you, just like the scripture said, and just like we came on and told you many times. Okay, it says separately, Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, told NBC News on Sunday that if the virus continues to spread, Americans should reconsider attendance at large gatherings. Okay, so that goes for your churches, that goes for your so-called sports events. Okay, baseball season is about to start. Them stadiums not gonna be packed. Okay, basketball, they're talking about, the players are gonna be, playing in their empty arenas and shit. Like, bro, what the fuck kind of shit is that? This ain't practice. You crazy? So nobody's gonna be sitting for that type of shit. And like I said, New York is densely packed, densely populated. Okay, so you already know people coughing, sneezing, touching the trains and all that. Bro, it's about to be nasty. All right, and through predictive programming, they've showed you many times, whether it be books or video games or even movies. The number one video game that comes to mind is The Division. Okay, The Division. It was set in New York City after basically people were wiped out because of a virus. Okay, it says all suggestive that mass quarantines currently seen in China, Italy, and other hard-hit countries could be coming to the U.S. It's not could, it will be coming to the U.S. Okay, because you notice what's happening in Italy, man. And Italy is where Rome is at. Okay, the ancient Roman Empire was in Italy. Okay, you see how the Lord is jacking that place up? And here we're living in what? Modern day Rome, modern day Roman Empire. So, what do you think is going to happen? It's starting over there, it's going to come over here. All right, it's the same spirits. It says, with limited virus test kits and no vaccine for 12 to 18 months, it appears Cuomo and Fauci on Sunday morning could be hinting to future quarantines. Last month, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, said the virus is expected to spread at a community level in the U.S., warning that it could disrupt daily life for millions of people. Okay, so it is going to disrupt lives for a lot of people. All right. We over here, we're not worried about that because we don't even live. We just survive. We're waiting for your house shot to come down, man. A lot of people here, they live in life. Okay. Yesterday, I got a text from somebody. I was like, yo, how you doing? They're like, oh, life is good. I said, I'm happy you live in life. It just reminded me of that scripture that talks about in the last days, going to be like the days of Noah. Okay. Partying, drinking, giving on to marriage, all this different extra shit. All right. Now is not the time for that. We're in the time of the Passover. You got people partying. Yesterday, I was coming home from the Passover. There was an accident that blocked off a whole highway on I-87. I'd never seen that in my life. I-87 was blocked off where no cars could go through. We were at a standstill for 45 minutes. And then they found a way to kind of redirect it and then made us turn around and go back. I had to drive 13 miles back and then take a different route, go the local way, and then land back on the highway, like ahead of where the accident had taken place, man. And I said, yo, that's judgment right there. An accident that causes a whole freaking highway interstate to be blocked off. Like, yo, that's judgment. On the night of the Passover, hey, that's the spirit. All right. And there's more to come. There's going to be more to come, man. And we're going to get that. All right. It says, meanwhile, for the second weekend in a row, Americans across the country continued an epic run on Costco stores, loading up on supplies in anticipation of mass quarantines. Okay, and you're gonna have people bugging the fuck out because of this shit. Hey, over there in Italy, I just seen a video I sent to my brother. Over there in Italy, man, you got a couple of women fighting over freaking toilet papers, man. Fighting over toilet papers. Who would have ever thought? People become so uncivilized. They act like animals. So imagine them in them days here in America, man. When the famine really hits and there's no food and no water, man, what's gonna be happening? You guys don't want to know. You're gonna find out though. All right, it says at a Costco in Astoria, shoppers were lined up around the block waiting to get into the store's parking lot. Check that out. Who knows who got corona in that line over there? I wouldn't want to be a part of that shit. All right, it says, unfortunately, with the pandemic only just getting into gear, it's just only getting into gear. It's just the beginning. Okay, it says get into gear in the continental U.S. Expect this map to have much more red in the coming weeks. So I'm looking at this map right here, and it's very highlighted. In Seattle, 71 cases. Santa Clara, California got 32. Is it 32 cases? Yeah, 32 cases. Los Angeles has 14 cases, and Westchester, New York has 57 cases. God damn. Oh, New York has 77 cases. Salakia. Check that out. So every state has a case. Every state has at least one case. Look at that. District of Columbia, and then Washington has the most deaths though, 16 deaths. Well, at least that's what they're reporting. Okay, California has 83 cases, 1 death. New York has 77 cases, 0 deaths, which is false because I heard somebody died in New York already. First case. Florida 11. Massachusetts has 9 cases, Texas has 9, Colorado has 8, Oregon has 7, Illinois has 6, Arizona has 5, Georgia has 5, New Hampshire has 4, New Jersey has 4, Pennsylvania has 4, Maryland has 3, Rhode Island has 3, Connecticut has 2. District of Columbia, which is Washington, where Washington D.C. is 2. Nevada has 2, North Carolina 2, South Carolina 2, Hawaii 1. Indiana 1, Kansas 1, Kentucky 1, Minnesota 1, Missouri 1, Nebraska 1, Oklahoma 1, Tennessee, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Wisconsin all have 1 case reported. Okay, 0 deaths. All right, so look, as I just read, okay, all these different states, pretty much the whole entire state. The states of America has been hit by corona. Somebody got corona someplace everywhere. Well, I ain't see Montana here. I ain't see Mississippi. You know, just a few states they ain't touched yet, but they're gonna get there. They're gonna get there. Idaho. Did I see Idaho? No, I ain't see Idaho. All right. So all these states, man, they're gonna get touched. All right. Everybody gonna get this work, man. Most sides not playing. All right, there's a time. Listen, man, we're in the Passover, like I said earlier. This stuff is not gonna get better. All right, so stop listening to what people keep saying, telling you, "Oh well, Ebola came and we had it under control." Listen, those were test runs, you dumbasses. Those were test runs. Now the real deal is here, and you see how it's moving. You got the economy looking shaky because of this coronavirus. You got mad countries in desperation because of coronavirus. Can you tell me when Ebola hit, was this shit happening? No. When Zika hit, was this shit happening? No. But for some reason, this shit Corona hit, and now look what's happening. All right? And your whole life is about to change. You could sit there and dream and believe in your government all you want. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're planning for some shit for you. All right? Not for us. For us, our problems, listen, man, they're going to bring the military. They're going to bring, super soldiers to come get us. But for y'all, they're gonna take y'all niggas out with this type of shit. Okay? So you got something coming for you, man. Alright, it's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. I'm starting off at the top. It says, woe. Okay, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. And that has a real big exclamation mark right there. Okay, it says, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Okay, now you see what's going on in China. Ain't China in Asia? Okay then. And Babylon is here in America. America is Babylon. So it's over for America. All right. It says, gird up yourselves with cloth and sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Okay, so this is just, like we said, the beginning stages, like Yahushua said, just the beginning of sorrows, man. Okay. So when we say all hell's about to break loose, you got to picture in your mind, if the Lord is not on your side, you're going to die. So just be ready to die type shit. No survivals. Okay? That's the type of time we're in. We're being real about the shit. I'm just trying to let you know the reality of things. This is not La La Land. It's not fantasy. Okay? The scriptures are real. And for those who don't believe it, your time is here. Okay, so just chill out and watch and wait for your missiles. If you could wait to that long, if you could survive for that long. Okay, I'm gonna jump to verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days. Now that's Ezra's talking. Okay, he says, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows, like Yahushua said, and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great deaths, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. Okay, the powers are who? The top elites. Okay, they're going to be in fear because those things that are going to be happening are going to be out of their control. You see, Esau likes to control the narrative all the time. What happens when he can't control this narrative? And that's why they're going to come get us, because they're like, these guys. You see. It says, let's see. So, it says, in the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Okay, for amendment to get you people right. Okay, so all these things are gonna come so you could be put in remembrance of you fucking up. Okay, and then ultimately World War III is gonna hit. But before that, that chip is gonna be put in place. It's gonna be made mandatory because of all this coronavirus shit. Okay, because of all this coronavirus shit, man. All right. Verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. So even through all the shit that's about to hit, you still gonna have people doing wicked shit. You still gonna have people who not gonna believe in the Lord. You see. Let's jump to verse 22. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So yes, you can have people in different countries who Esau might not necessarily go over there and blow them away, but the Most High gonna get them. Okay, by way of what? Famines. Okay, how's that gonna happen? You go into Africa, they're gonna have all these different locusts and shit eating up their crops, and now they can't eat, they can't feed themselves, they can't trade, they can't do none of that. Okay, that's a form of famine. What about these other advanced countries who might not necessarily be doing shit like Africans do? Okay, for example, Italy, they have their farms and shit like that, but they're mostly their economy runs on trade, imports and exports. Okay, Argentina, all these different countries. So when that time comes where you can't even trade because there's no such thing as going and coming, the ships are all docked up and ready. They can't move. Like no type of like trade is happening. That's gonna affect your people. It's gonna affect your money. It's gonna affect your mindset. Okay, your government, your measures are gonna change. Okay, it's gonna go from living to surviving. Okay, when that happens, the government is gonna have to trim down the fat. You know, so then they're gonna have to take measures. Say, we're gonna have to eliminate the weakest links. Okay, so if you're physically impaired, challenged, right? You got limbs, you got people in wheelchairs, you got people who can't, function properly. If you're weak, they're taking you out, point blank, period. All right, they're going through your medical history. This guy right here, he got this, and that. Boom. Instead of doing all this health insurance, all this extra shit, listen, bro, just take this nigga out, man. It's over. And that's it. Old people, that's it. You can't. They're gonna take you out, man. All right. And then they're gonna bring out the troops. Okay, that's how you're gonna get that sword, man, the gun. Okay, it says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and and there shall be no man to comfort them. Yes, that's why they have those FEMA coffins. Okay, they're just gonna be tossing motherfuckers out like dung because of all these disease-infested bodies. Anybody want to touch them shits? So grab them up and toss them someplace, put it in the fucking coffin, and just burn that shit or bury it or whatever. Okay, it's like you're gonna be tossed out like shit. Ain't nobody treat shit nice. Nobody pick up shit and be like, oh, let me comfort shit. Nah, you pick that shit up and you throw it out. Whatever it is, you clean it up. Whatever they be doing with that. All right, that's what they're gonna be doing to you people, man. All right, it says, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Yeah, so you're gonna have a wasteland. You're gonna have a land that's just filled with stink, like back in the time of Egypt. Okay. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Yeah, because ain't nobody got time to be making no fucking crops and shit. Bro, everybody's scared for their lives. Okay, and that's the time that we're in right now, man. All right, verse 27, jump to verse 27. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. Yeah, and that's going into the quarantines, man. Remember, they start off little by little and then they escalate it. All right, so very soon you're not going to be able to cross borders. And it's funny too, because look, it's not just one person. It's going to be affecting many, many people. And you know, people like to avoid conflict. Some people like to avoid conflict. So they're going to do whatever the government tells them to do. You know, imagine one day just driving and they just shut everything down. They tell you, boom, and then you're stuck in traffic. And they say the only way you can get out of traffic and go home is if you come through a certain avenue. And that avenue is going to end up in you being in a fucking FEMA camp. Okay? Everybody get out, walk over here, walk this way, follow orders. If you don't listen, you will be shot. Follow orders. You're going to be hearing shit like that. Now you got your, oh, can I call my mom and tell her that I'm not coming home to? No. Fuck that. As a matter of fact, let me get your phone. Put that shit down. Shoot that shit. Crack that shit. All right. Now what? So we're heading into that Orwellian police state right now. That's where we're headed to right now. Okay. It says for a city, there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Yeah, because everybody, if you're not chipped, you're going to be hiding. You know, you're going to have like a few people who are not chipped and they're going to be scared because like, yo, bro, if I get seen and they snitch on me, I'm dead. So I'll be hiding. You know, only the men of the Lord are going to be chilling, man, in them days. All right? Only the men of the Lord are going to be chilling in them days, man. Okay, jump to verse 37. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So we're in that time of the great pains, the great sorrows, the beginning of sorrows. Okay, the birth pains, that's what you people are experiencing right now. Okay, verse 39, even so shall the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Okay, so it's not just talking about America, it's talking about everybody getting this work. Okay, thus saith the Lord, man. All right, so I just wanted to bring that out real quick. You know, Lord willing, is edifying unto the elect. I like to say, call hello, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the water Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.